Hi guys, I'm Tharwa. Welcome to my van studio. This is a seascape with Table Mountain, and I must be homesick because I have been painting so much South African art lately, which is near and dear to my heart, so it's no surprise. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you'd like to paint along, this is a very easy painting, very simplistic and very limited supplies. I'm basically using two colors, which is for my grays and darker, not quite black, but just a darker gray. I'm using Payne's gray, and for my green I'm using Sap Green, and to tone it down a little bit I'm actually just adding a little bit of Payne's gray to my Sap Green. And those are the only main colors I'm using for this whole piece, except for the girl's dress. But I will list all the supplies, and I'll also note it as I'm painting, and you'll know which colors I'm using. I'm doing my first layer of the grass, and it's just a watered down version of the Sap Green, just to kind of see where I'd like to go with my value. I'm also going in wet on dry because I'd like to keep my edges defined. If I'd moistened my paper at this point, it would have smudged the line between the bank, the grass bank, and the ocean, which is the next layer. I'm doing the mountain next, so this gives the green a chance to dry. Before going in with my second layer, I am allowing everything to dry. So this way I'm just glazing over the mountain with another very watered down Payne's gray and doing my first coat of the sky. I'm spraying down my paper here to help the paint to just flow a little better, since I don't need a defined edge with the mountain ridge and the sky. And this will also help the paint to flow a lot better, since it's going to be a very light layer for the sky. I should definitely have given the layer I just did a chance to dry a bit more. This is where I'm going in with my ocean and it starts bleeding up into the mountain range. And but it's an easy fix at this point where I'm just going to go in. You'll see it start bleeding as I go in with a thicker layer of paint. And all I do to remedy this is take a clean damp brush and just wipe up the excess paint. Darkening the distant waters helps to give it a sense of depth. I decided to go in and also add some shadowy details to the mountain to just give it a little more detail without giving it too much focus, because I really would like the focus to be on the girl, on the figure. I'm going in with a clean damp brush and lifting the paint to mimic some movement in the water. I love adding Payne's gray to Sap Green because it really tones it down quite a bit and turns it almost olivey. Olivey, yes, I think that's a word. Turns it into an olive color. So that just tones it down a little bit. This is a makeshift palette that I'm using for my acrylics because I definitely do not want to mix my acrylic with my watercolor. So I'm just using a damp paper towel and a piece of wax paper, and that will also help to keep my acrylic moist and give me more time to work with it. I have chosen to use a fluorescent orange, and I'm going to tone it down with a little bit of Bombay ink, also orange ink, which is a little dull, and so that will tone down the acrylic quite a bit. I was not careful avoiding the figure while painting the ocean, and I also thought the acrylic would have been more opaque, so I'm going in with a little bit of bleed-proof white, and once that dries, I'll repaint the orange part. Everything is dry, and I'm going in with a nice thick layer of the fluorescent orange to finish up her dress. And here I'm going in with some black acrylic just to darken her hair and also her shoes. The Payne's gray would not have been dark enough, even the thickest layer, because it's more of a really dark gray, this particular brand of Payne's gray. So I thought I'd just go in with the acrylic. But rethinking this, if I were to do this over again, I would probably just go in with my Micron pen. It would be easier and I could do a little more detail with the pen versus my brush. I am going in with my Doc Martens bleed proof again, and doing this over, I would pretty much omit this part and just go straight in with my jelly roll, which I do end up doing, so you can see me using the jelly roll and how much easier it is to spread. This product, I think I just need to get used to using it. I haven't used it much, and I think it needs to be a little thinner so it would be easier to apply. But here you see me just switching up and going with my jelly roll, and it's just so much easier to use, and I like the effect of just giving it some highlights with this. It's very easy to use. If you've made it this far into my video, I really thank you. I appreciate you hanging out with me and supporting my channel. Thank you so much.